So here we are recording the second day of our parikrama. Yesterday we produced a video, and we're doing another video. Why is that? Because to stress how important this parikrama actually is. Our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition has a tradition of doing parikrama. I was thinking the other day, when was the first parikrama? Actually, in Shastras described that the first parikrama began just after Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill. After Indra had been defeated and all the Brajabasis had been saved, Krishna put down Govardhan Hill, and there was a large feast offered to Giriraj, and then Krishna himself took all the Brajabasis around Govardhan Hill with their oxen carts and the bullock carts all around Govardhan Hill. You could say that was the first parikrama. So it was initiated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. And throughout our history, all our great acharyas have also done parikrama. Of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to Vrindavan, he did parikrama through the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And since then, all our acharyas have done. Even our beloved Srila Prabhupada has done. Actually, Sanatana Goswami is famous for doing parikrama. It's described that when he was living here 500 years ago, he would do parikrama every day around Govardhan Hill. And not just the parikrama that we do a parikrama that's actually very close to Giriraj, Govardhan. But Srila Sanatana Goswami, when he did parikrama around Govardhan Hill, he took the outer parikrama marg. I think most devotees don't even know where that is, where it exists, but it's some distance away from Govardhan Hill. He would do that very long Govardhan parikrama every day. And why did he do that so far away from Giriraj? Because he wanted to be very careful not to step on a Govardhan Shila. Giriraj is non-different than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he did parikrama on the long route every day, so as not to step on a Govardhan Shila. And of course we know when Srila Prabhupada was here, well, especially when he brought his disciples here in the early 1970s, sometimes he would take them on parikrama as well. I remember I was fortunate enough to be in one of those parikramas with Srila Prabhupada. We went to some sacred place, Mother Jamuna, and Prabhupada bathed in the Jamuna River on that parikrama that we did. I remember him walking in, he was effulgent, bathing, and some of the disciples were putting water on Srila Prabhupada. It was brief, but he also did parikrama was here. So parikrama is so much part of our tradition. We're going on parikrama around the Dham, just like I mentioned yesterday, we're going on this particular parikrama around Vrindavan itself. It means that, well, the Dham itself is an expansion of Lord Balaram. And we're passing by the river Jamuna, which is an expansion of Vishaka Devi. And as I mentioned, we do parikrama around Giriraj as Krishna himself. So it's not just a walk in the park. It's a very important part of our devotional service to do parikrama. And of course, we have our Kartik parikramas, our extended parikramas every month. And Kartik devotees come from all over the world, and we go to different sacred places like this. So when we're going on parikrama, sometimes newcomers, they may look around and they may say, but it doesn't look exactly like I read about it in Krishna book, or I heard Srila Prabhupada discussing Vrindavan. And it's true, nowadays, especially in Kali Yuga, it's not as clean, anywhere near as clean as it was 500 years ago or 5,000 years ago. Prabhupada mentioned one time, this is because there's a thin film of Maya covering the Dham. Of course, the Dham's not affected by Maya, by illusion, but there's a thin film of Maya covering the Dham so as to keep the materialistic people away and the Mayavadis away, because the devotees, they see through this thin film by hearing from authorities. It's said that a saintly person, he sees through his ears, not through his eyes. So to the material eye, it may appear that Vrindavan's a little dilapidated and dirty, and there's garbage and open sewers. It's a fact, but that's not the real Vrindavan. The real Vrindavan is something completely transcendental. because according to our scriptures, there's no difference between Goloka Vrindavan and Gokul Vrindavan. When Goloka Vrindavan descends to this world by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, who agreed to come with Krishna only if Vrindavan came with them for that wonderful atmosphere for their pastimes. I came, and so in the spiritual world it's called Goloka, and here in the material world it's called Gokula. So we have this faith. Everything is based on faith. Just like Prabhupada said, even materialistic people, they have faith. They have faith in the sciences. Whatever the sciences say, the common people, they take that as truth. But Prabhupada said one time, faith means to put your trust in something sublime. So sublime is the teachings of our acharyas who reveal the real beauty of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So when we're going around now, we're not seeing it through our material eyes. We're seeing it from what we've heard from Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas and our leaders in ISKCON, those who speak about Vrindavan, like my Parikramar Guru, Dinabandhu Prabhu, or Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj. We've learned from them to see Vrindavan as it is. I sometimes tell the pastime that Prabhupada was speaking about Vrindavan here in Vrindavan and describing it as it's described in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in the 10th canto, all the pristine beauty of Vrindavan. And later he asked for questions, and one devotee raised his hand. He said, "But Srila Prabhupada, I don't see it like you're seeing it. There's, rickshaw wallahs begging or pushing for money, and there's the open sewers, and there's the pigs, and so if I just don't see it like that." So Prabhupada said, yes, that's because there's a speck in your eye. So the devotee had this big, thick black glasses. He took his glasses off and he started rubbing his eyes like this, hoping to see Vrindavan as it is. And Prabhupada said, no, not like that. He said, the speck in your eye is a desire for sense gratification. And until that desire for sense gratification is removed, you can't see Vrindavan as it is. So as we mentioned yesterday, half the process of Krishna consciousness is Chaitodharpana Marjanam, cleansing the heart of all those obstacles between us and Krishna and everything connected to Krishna, like lust, anger, and greed. And through the chanting of Hare Krishna, when those obstacles are removed, then bhakti, or devotion, the seed of bhakti in our heart, it has that fertile ground to grow, and eventually, premanjani charati bhakti vilochanena. When one's eyes are covered by the salve of love, one will be able to see Vrindavan as it is. So we hanker for that. It's called lolium, or greed. We hanker for these things. Just like a materialistic person hankers for some sense gratification, some name, some fame, some material objects, or whatever. We're being trained to hanker for Krishna. And that mood is present in Vrindavan. That mood is present in Vrindavan. Everyone is looking for Krishna. Just like the 6 Goswamis in there. We hear in the prayers, the Sad Goswami Ashtakam. They're looking at it, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? This is the mood of Krishna consciousness. And this is what makes Vrindavan is so easy to advance in Krishna consciousness. When we're going around Parikrama here today on our second day, going around Vrindavan Dham, we're passing people who are not reading newspapers, who are not Gramya Katha, talking about just politics or economy or these type of things that most people, when they wake up in the morning, that's what they start talking about. No, here in Vrindavan, when we're going around Parikrama, we meet people, Jai Sri Radhe, Hare Krishna. Practically everyone we pass on our Parikrama, on the Parikrama Marg, we pass them and say, Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. So in this way, you're reminded of Krishna at every step. And plus there's so many other people doing Parikrama from other sampradayas, and even just the people in the villages, or on big days like Guru Purnima here in Vrindavan. There's so many people going on Parikrama around Govardhan Hill, you don't even have to walk, you just get caught up in the crowd and it kind of takes you around Govardhan Hill. So this is part of our tradition, and we're loving it. Of course, this Vrindavan Parikrama, it's about maybe 12 kilometers long. It's not that easy, but whatever austerities are there, we don't even think about it, because we're just relishing hearing the people call out Krishna's name, chanting Krishna's names ourselves, seeing the cows, seeing the peacocks, seeing the birds. The birds are singing. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, he says in Vrindavan Mahimamrita that when the birds are singing, they're singing the glories of Krishna. Like this. So this is how we're being trained to see Vrindavan actually as it is. Not according to our material light, but according to the eyes of sadhus, and of course the words of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna himself when he speaks about the glories of Vrindavan, as we read in Srimad Bhagavatam. So here we are out again, second day, going around halfway through, and we're going to continue with great enthusiasm, great greed, to actually one day see Vrindavan as it is, as Gokula Vrindavan. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.